Well, good morning and welcome to Rim Country Forum. I'm Chuck Holland, sitting in for Randy Roberson, and we'd like to thank our sponsors, Dana Law Group, Sunshine Cleaning and Restoration, Hospitality Wireless, Dan Good Flooring, Anytime Fitness, Choice Auto and Truck, and Holiday Cruises and Tours. Well, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Just right. Glad to see you.
Whoops. How about...
there we go. Just right. How are you?
Yeah, let's try that for a change. Okay. So, well, the movie theaters, as everyone knows, are closed temporarily in observance of this virus that's going on, but doesn't mean there's not any good movies that you can watch right at home, right? Anybody?
Oh yeah, there's a few out there.
Yeah.
This is actually, over the years I've talked about my affinity for B movies, and there's actually more of those than the good movies out there. So this is a good time to watch a bunch of kind of poorly made, cheap movies that are to waste some time.
Hey, I'm all about the cheesy movies.
Cheesy, that's the word. That's
right,
the word.
Right. My favorite time of year is around Halloween when they got all the cheesy. Spooky movies and the old horror movies, and those are
Zombie films.
Yeah, I love
yeah, we got the zombie guru here,
Yeah,
Andy McKinney.
Right, it's right up there with the Three Stooges reruns.
That's a guy thing.
Yeah.
I need to point that out.
Yeah.
That is a guy thing. I don't know any woman who likes the Three Stooges.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
that's
you
true.
do. Maybe
Yeah.
you do.
No, I don't. No.
Yeah. But it's puerile.
Sure, isn't that what you put on your hands?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially now.
Right.
Good word usage there, Tina. Good
Oh
word
well,
usage.
I'm trying to wake people up here. So.
No, I had a friend many years ago in Alaska that liked the Three Stooges movie, but she was the only woman that would, and she was a fan. I mean, she would go around going, nah, nah, nah.
And she's still alive?
I haven't seen her for 30 years.
See?
But as Craig said, there are a lot of movies out there. There are over 3,000 movies made in the United States every year, full-length feature films. And of course, most of them we never hear about. But they're out there, and some of them are pretty good. And of course, a lot of them, as Craig says, are rubbish.
Yes, but the good rubbish, right?
Right.
And what we're seeing now too is with, of course, Sawmill isn't the only theater that's closed. This is, I don't even know if there's any open in America right now. So the studios are kind of responding to this by streaming a lot of this stuff that was going to be coming out.
Yeah, an awful lot streaming on.
They've done that, and then the other one is, they're pushing these movies. And what we're seeing is some of them are, like Mulan, that was supposed to come out here at the end of March. They've just kind of got that one on hold. Others they've moved all the way back to 2021. It's going to be a kind of a sketchy year, really, for movies.
Well, once we come out of this, boy, we're going to be jam-packed with all kinds of movies coming out.
Well,
sounds like you would think.
Well, like you said, it's going to be. Some of the studios are holding on to these films and not giving them a date. Others, Sony just took all their movies and pushed them into 2021. We'd already seen, James Bond movie that was supposed to come out this month is moved into November. That's still in place, but the Fast and Furious movie for May, that one was pushed back to 2021.
Wow.
So we're really not sure what the movie environment is going to look like once we do get through this and we can get opened up again.
Yeah.
We might be playing a lot of classic movies.
Right.
Well, one of the things people can watch is us on the Don Klein channel. There's a movie. Hello.
Hi there.
Really? Yeah, and I just want to, because Andy's seen this, so he can comment on it. There's a wonderful documentary called No Safe Spaces, which was made by Dennis Prager and Adam Carolla. And it was in the theaters. Andy is so special that we daren't even approach him except to kiss the hem of the robe. But he went.
I appreciate that.
Yes, he went and saw that when Dennis Prager was in the theater, and it is now being streamed for free. NoSafeSpaces.com. It's about the I know theoretically what it's about, but you know actually what it's about.
It's about the shutting down of political debate in the United States by the totalitarian left, which we have with us on a daily basis in this country. Very sad.
And particularly on college campuses. That is, that is a place where it used to be free speech was exalted. And now it's free speech for me, but not for thee.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm old enough that I remember Mario Savio and the
Oh, yeah.
free speech movement in Berkeley. I was a young person at that time, and
We were never young. And
And it
who
was
was
a-
Jane Fonda's husband, Tom, yeah, Hayden, Tom Hayden.
Tom Hayden, yeah.
Yeah.
But the idea was that the college campus is a place of intellectual inquiry, and if you shut that down, you lose something important.
Well, and the college campuses now are kind of like Pol Pot, Cambodia. If they scream at you for re-education, and you're not allowed to have any kind of free speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention that during those free speech riots, I was an undercover informant for the Palo Alto Police Department, and I attended a number of the steering committees in which they were deciding what to do about the riots. And the steering committees were run by full-on self-identified communists,
Yep.
and they were advocating communism. So
Yes.
this was the beginning of the overt communist insurgency in our country.
Yeah, thanks for that. David Horowitz, who I'm a big fan of him, he wrote quite a few books, and I read his book Native Son, and there was another one about his being, he was a full-on communist, what they call a red diaper baby, and then he...
Yeah, his parents were Communist Party members.
Yes, and he had the brain transplant, and he's an amazing writer. If you ever get a chance to check in with his website, frontpage.com, it's very revealing. He was there, not undercover like Don was, but there actually plotting and planning and seeing. But then he started to see what people were plotting and planning, like murder and mayhem. And yeah,
Wow.
so nosafespaces.com, definitely
That's interesting, yeah.
stream it, channel. It's free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that going to be out on DVD or?
I don't know.
No, I
Oh,
just-
that's right. You're the Luddite here.
Yeah, I don't have streaming.
I know. A movie critic who doesn't have streaming? What the heck here?
It's not my fault. My children moved away, and I can't figure out how to do that stuff.
Hey, it's not my fault. You sound like a millennial.
9-year-old, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, no
Yeah, really.
Last night, in preparation, I did it just for fun, but in preparation for the show, I watched the movie version of Deadwood.
Oh, yeah. I've heard
and-
it's pretty good
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it. The same cast that they had with the
with the show.
show. Deadwood, those of you that haven't seen it, Deadwood was an HBO series, I guess.
Right.
I think we got three seasons out of it.
I think so.
But really, very, very gritty.
Super salty language.
Yeah, super salty language.
Way.
Naked people. This is frontier.
Oh, got my attention. Hello.
Frontier stuff.
That's the best kind.
Yeah.
Set in Deadwood, South Dakota, during the gold boom there. Tremendous cast. Timothy Oliphant plays the town marshal.
Yeah, that's
and,
great.
boy, is he good. And in the movie, all the same cast members come back, and it's 10 years down the road.
Interesting.
A lot of fun. Ian McShane, or is it Ian or Ian?
I believe it's Ian.
I think it's Igor.
Yeah, that's the Russian version.
Yeah, I've been to Deadwood, South Dakota a few times back with during the Sturgis motorcycle rally.
Yeah.
Okay.
And man, what an interesting town. It is really, really awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and evidently it's very well preserved.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah, oh, yeah.
like going in back in the olden days.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And Gerald McRaney is in this too. He plays George Hurst.
Oh, yeah, I love her.
Kind of a fictionalized version of the actual person. George Hurst was a mining magnate. And he's great, and I can't remember, remember back in the 70s, his TV show,
Oh.
they were cowboy detectives.
Oh, that one. I was thinking more of he married
Wild
Delta
Wild
Burke.
West?
The Wild Wild West?
No.
No?
Huh.
He married Delta Burke, that's what I remember.
Okay.
All right, well,
Yes.
more on that and lots more to come. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Yay. I saw the
The time
best
couldn't be better
Mel
this
Gibson
spring.
last
Upgrade
night.
with a quality pre-owned
Blood
vehicle at
Father.
Choice Auto and Truck.
Never
We have
heard
a
of
great
it.
selection on our
And neither
website
had
at
I.
choiceauto.com.
Mark said we'd seen it. I
And if
think
you
he's
don't
full
see
of it.
what
I
you're
think I
looking
must have
for,
asleep.
stop by in
But
person and let's
man,
find
I gotta
it for
talk
you.
about that
That's
because
Choice
it's got
Auto
the
and Truck
same
on
guy
Beeline
who's the
Highway
lead
next to
character
Ace
in
Hardware.
Narcos.
And don't forget,
And
see us on the
Narcos
web
is a
at
great
choiceauto.com.
It's taken
Your
from two
friends
events.
at Alliant
It
Gas
was,
Pinnacle Propane
um,
are on call
what's his name?
24/7 to handle both commercial
Um,
and residential needs.
comic
They've
actor
been
Michael
diligently
Pena.
serving
Michael
the Rim
Pena's
Country
in it.
for over 47 years. Alliant
in the
Gas
first
season.
Pinnacle
Yeah,
Propane is
in
a
the first
company you
season.
can trust.
He's in
Propane
Narcos.
is safe,
Huh?
What's he doing in
He was
Narcos?
he played the agent who was tortured and
All right.
killed by.
Coming back.
474-2294.
All right, back to Rim Country Forum, and I'm Chuck Holland sitting in for Randy Roberson. We got the movie guys here, so.
So if you're at home and you want to see a good, very, 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 very extremely adult Western themed movie, the movie version of the series Deadwood, recommend that one a lot.
Yep, sign me up.
Yeah.
Sounds
Say,
good.
speaking of westerns, we got Westworld too.
Oh,
Westworld was
yeah.
back on
Oh,
HBO,
excellent.
season 3. That's a
Yeah.
that's a real mind twister.
Yeah.
That is a mind
Yeah,
twister.
that's a
Yeah.
trippy movie.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing with season 3 now, where you're going, wait, where are they? Are
That's-
they in a
what's-
computer? Yeah, or not in a
what's going
computer?
on?
What's going
Yeah.
on? Yeah, or
Yeah.
there's layers within layers. Kind of like a, is that Inception?
Yes.
That dreams
Boy.
within dreams within dreams, where you're like,
Boy, that'll make your brain inside out, won't it?
Yeah. By the way, I started watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood last night.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, just brutal.
Ooh.
yeah, I love that. I
Did you
love
know
it.
it?
Yes,
no,
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen the trailers. That looks like that to me looks like a pretty good movie.
No, I love it.
Tarantino,
I love
it's
it.
it's a no.
I've got
Yes.
that,
Oh,
I
yes.
got that twisted mind of
Yeah.
Tarantino
Yeah,
anyway.
you know what,
so-
It's slow. It's like very
Yeah,
good
it is.
by,
It's
by
like
Quentin Tarantino.
10 minutes of watching Brad Pitt make macaroni and cheese and feed his dog. It's just.
Yeah, you gotta zone out,
There's
dude. You got lots of time on your hands here.
I need Quaaludes to watch that. Awful.
I wouldn't know nothing about that.
All right.
They don't make those anymore.
You need to be unified.
But a great recommendation. You're right.
I saw it in your theater, and I loved it.
And as did I.
Yes, we saw it
We probably
together.
saw it together.
Yes, we did, yes. Yeah.
It's just too long. He could have condensed it down to 2 hours easily, put some more action in it. It just.
Yeah, see, it's like the Barry
I don't
Lyndon
know,
Quentin Tarantino.
Well,
Super-
it's
don't
an
you
art
think,
film.
Andy? Yeah.
It's an art film.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, it's
Yeah.
more than a.
there are those of us who like those things.
See, slow your brain activity down to get through it.
Well, see, I don't
Or your
have any
blood
brain
pressure.
activity, that's probably right.
So you're saying it's an
Good.
art film, not an entertainment film?
and Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate is just
Oh, my goodness.
brilliant.
Yes.
My goodness
Yes.
gracious sakes. Every time I see her, I think, well, except for Tarzan. And you know, she still looked great. But you know what? She's a genuine actress, not just a movie star.
Well,
I
those
can,
of us.
you know, although we're on radio, I think you can actually hear his eyes roll.
I think so too. There's kind of a clattering sound.
There were positive points to it. I mean, it was very well made. I get just the pace was so so off that it was hard to get into, and then there were scenes within it that were just great, but there was so much just, lagging in between them.
But the gunfight at the end, dude, seriously, that was so good.
Yeah, well, he's kind of got that Western,
Yeah,
get a little bit of a Western thing going on there too, huh? He always has his gunfights at the end of it.
yeah.
Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, those.
Yeah.
But those of us old enough to remember the actual Manson murders, and it's kind of like, where were you when Kennedy was shot, when you heard about it? Where was I when I heard about the Manson murders? I was in Chicago, actually Northwestern, Evanston, and I remember where I was. I was in this alley, and somebody's radio was blaring out into the alley, and that's how I heard about it. But his very clever take on just morphing the Manson murders into something else, I thought was brilliant. I really did. Yeah, I know.
Shoulder shrug.
That's why they have three of us.
It could have been brilliant in 2 hours, not 3 hours.
All right, well, I still-
Tarantino is always interesting to watch and almost always very controversial as well.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But it's,
Maybe 3-hour movies are good now when none of us have anything to do.
yeah,
I
there you
want
go.
a T-shirt that says "Quarantine Tarantino."
Yeah, give that one a try.
I saw a very interesting and very entertaining movie that I'd never heard of on TV the other night called Hotel Artemis. You ever heard of that one?
No.
Okay. It's a Jodie Foster, great cast again. It was a spectacular fail at the box office, and I don't know why. But it was a tremendously entertaining movie. The setup is Jodie Foster is a nurse. We're in Los Angeles, and I'm not saying post-apocalypse, but kind of take everything that's going on in Los Angeles currently and add a severe water shortage. So that's kind of the social background on it. And she has a hospital for crooks. And it's established in the Hotel Artemis. It's a members-only hospital. So if you're a member, if you have a membership, you can go there, and you don't have to go to Mount Sinai or someplace where the police will find you if you've got a bullet hole in you.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
cool
That's
premise.
good.
Yeah.
John Wick, yeah, John Wick, yeah.
Yeah, same sort of a thing, except this is a hospital, and it's hospital in a hotel. In John Wick, was the Centurion?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Anyway, the same sort of a deal, the hotel for bad guys. But besides Jodie Foster, Dave Bautista.
No.
Yes,
Yay.
and boy, he's really good. He plays a really big guy in this movie.
Yeah.
Those of you that don't recognize the name Dave Bautista, he's the former professional wrestler and now movie star. He played Dax the Destroyer in the two Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Right.
And he's done some other stuff too. As I say, I didn't know, never heard of this movie until I saw it on TV the other night. But also Charlie Day, comedian Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yeah, love him.
Yeah, he plays the kingpin, the gangster kingpin, and Sophia, I can't really pronounce her last name, French lady, Botella, and we've seen her. She was in Atomic Blonde, and she was also in both of the Kingsman movies.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Well, it's 9:24. We got to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Okay, I got some.
experts in cleaning
Winston
carpet,
Duke.
tile,
You know who Winston
upholstery,
Duke
wood
is?
floors,
Nope.
oriental
He is this
rugs, and heating and
huge,
air conditioning ducts,
talented
plus
black
flood
guy.
or fire
He is
restoration,
in
water
Person of
damage, and
Interest
mold removal,
and in
sunshine
Spencer.
cleaning and
Spencer
restoration.
is, yeah,
Okay.
with Mark
Certified and
Wahlberg.
reliable with 30 years
And,
experience,
really
you
good,
can trust
really good.
Jesse Clark
Yeah.
and the Sunshine
We should talk
Staff to
about
be on
Spencer
site
and
within
Person
1
of
hour
Interest.
in the
I
Payson
wanna talk
area.
about
For
Haywire with
emergency
Gina
or
Can you send me the,
extraction, Call
pencil,
them in an
please?
emergency or simply to get that dirty carpet clean.
By the way,
474
I have a theory. Post Malone?
2521. Now in their new
Post
location
Malone?
at
Oh,
511
Post
I
Malone.
think it's
South Avon
actually
Highway.
Shia LaBeouf. They look just like,
Hi, I'm Dan.
put some tattoos on Shia
I would
LaBeouf.
like
It's
to
him.
talk to you
Is that
about
right?
Shaw Luxury
So,
Vinyl
how
Planks.
about-
This
yeah.
material has
I think
taken
so.
place in laminate. It is a waterproof
people.
and scratch-resistant flooring. Shaw
Yeah.
flooring makes many different styles.
I want
Here's some
everybody to-
pictures. I don't know, it's a theory,
With an
but
authentic
Austin-
look of
Unproven.
real wood.
Austin Richard
So
Post.
come visit us at
American singer,
810
rapper,
North Beeline
songwriter.
Highway and check out
See?
our new Shaw Luxury
think he
Vinyl
used
to be
Planks.
a coming back.
Remember,
Shia
we don't
LaBeouf.
just do a good job,
Yeah, I
we
know.
do it.
All right, we're back with movie guys. Last 5 minutes of their time with us, so let's use it wisely.
We did
Oh.
not know.
Yes.
Nobody told us.
Oh, no. Let's blame Debbie.
Well, that's fine, yeah. That's better than blaming my husband who's at home listening. Hi, honey.
All right.
Okay,
So,
well, just a couple of movies. Yes, on Netflix, Blood Father with Mel Gibson. It is absolutely fabulous.
oh, wow.
And it has a connection to the series Narcos, which the lead character is Diego Luna, and he plays a bad guy, what a surprise, in Blood Father. But it is absolutely, just the little vignettes of action are so good, and I love Mel. I
Yeah,
love
Mel Gibson's
Yeah,
great.
he's just fantastic.
Really good.
Right, and then Narcos is also worth watching with Michael Pena in the first season. This is a true story about about Kiki, I forget his last name, but he was a DEA agent who was tortured and murdered by the cartels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you remember this, down in Mexico. And then the second season is about the evolution or devolution of the Narcos.
Hmm.
So, good guy.
How about
Good-
that?
Good stuff.
completely different. I'm binging Sleepy Hollow. It's Ichabod Crane comes back from the past to fight the Headless Horseman, who is actually one of the horsemen of the apocalypse.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good, pretty good. And Ichabod's wife is a witch that comes back too, so I
Wow.
like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a number of episodes of that.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that the Headless Horseman was one of the horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah,
That's even more scary and grim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And then there's a great action flick, I think I've mentioned it before in the show, Haywire with Gina Carano, who is an MMA fighter. She does all her own stunts, and you can't believe it. I must have seen this movie 10, 12,
Yeah,
13
what's it called?
times. Haywire.
Haywire.
And it's got good people in it, Michael Douglas, Ewan McGregor, Antonio Banderas.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was made by Steven Soderbergh.
Cool.
It's so good. You've got to see it. And once you see it, you want to see it again and again, because watching her move, she's a fighter, and she
Yeah.
is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she the same one that was in 22 Miles here recently?
I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. Should I look that one up?
If you like, shoot 'em ups,
I like fight 'em ups.
well, this.
Yeah. That's why I'm wearing the Punisher t-shirt this
Yeah,
time.
well, yeah, it'd be right up your alley.
Yeah, right.
Enormous body count.
Yeah,
Um,
good.
Good, good. The bloodier the better.
We like
she-
that part.
She was also in Entourage.
Okay.
In that episode of Entourage, she had a great line in there that I can't repeat on television, or radio for that matter.
Right. And then
Wow.
Spencer with Mark Wahlberg is on Netflix right now.
He's another good actor. I
Oh,
love
he's
Wahlberg
great. And
movies.
Winston Duke is this huge, talented black actor who stars in Person of Interest, which, by the way, everybody should see that. I've seen the whole series twice. But he plays Hawk in the Spencer movie, and I've read all the Robert B. Parker books, so really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, Person of Interest was a good
Oh, man,
series.
so
yeah.
good, so good.
Yeah, Tina turned me on to that, and I just, excuse me, ran across it on the television and sat down and watched about 6 episodes in a row. And she's absolutely right. It's just riveting video. It's good.
Mhm.
And,
Super good. And it'll take up a lot of your time, which, you know, that's what we
Hey,
need right
we
now,
all got
right?
plenty of that.
anything to avoid yard work.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
who's the protagonist?
Oh, Jim Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel.
Yes, who starred in The Passion of the Christ. He's a wonderful actor, wonderful person. Yeah.
He doesn't do nudes.
No, he doesn't. He does it. Well, he does a few little, very modest kissing scenes, but very, you know, he is great on screen too. Yeah.
He's got a good presence, doesn't he?
Oh, amazing guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Good stuff, yeah. Well, there's a lot of good stuff out there.
There is.
You don't have to sit and watch all the doom and gloom news on TV.
I'm
you know.
binging
Take
on Mad Men
yeah.
right now.
Take a break.
I am reliving my life in the 60s.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Well-
what's happening to eclipse us?
We've got a high school math teacher from Payson High School, and
Oh.
she's coming in to talk about the online learning and
Excellent.
all the stuff, the challenges that she's overcoming, and mainly trying to get the word out to the parents
Good.
to get their kids, because apparently she's run across, some feedback, and the kids are saying, well, there's nothing going on at all, and the parents are finding out, oh, wait a minute, there are classes in session.
I'm an English teacher. Read a book.
Right. Well, thank you very much,
Thank you,
guys.
thank you.
And,
Okay,
we
thank
will
you.
see you
Yes.
next Friday.
And love to all those, aloha to all those out there in Radio Land.
Absolutely. Thank you.